It's wonderful. It is Friday. It is the third day of the month of December, and welcome to The Point. And I'm Joseph Cadore, and thanks for being part of the broadcast. Good morning to you. For those of you that's on radio, that's GBN's Channel 7, Classic 105.5 and 105.9. If you're on television, or if you're probably joining us via the World Wide Web at www.gbn.gd, our Facebook page, or our YouTube channel. Welcome to this broadcast. It is To The Point for today, the third day of December. It's an open line Friday. I think it's the first open line we're having since the presentation of the budget by the finance minister last Friday. And so this one is deliberate, and certainly we've had the presentation by the finance minister, budget debates in the lower house by the different ministers. We've had the response from the National Democratic Congress, and so it puts things into perspective as to that we can gather your thoughts on the presentation that were. Depending on which side of the political spectrum you're on, the conversation may just be different. But the hope is that we can have a frank conversation, get your feedback on the budget as it was delivered by the finance minister. Certainly the budget was enshrined in the vision, according to the finance minister, as part of the Grenada's National Sustainability Development Plan 2020 to 2035. Grenada, a resilient and prosperous nation with a conscious and caring citizenry, promoting human dignity and realizing its full potential through sustainable economic, social, and environmental progress for all. And certainly the government, through the budget, government and the minister said, has identified several strategic objectives to guide the efforts to rebuild, renew, and to reshape the economy over the next 3 years in support of the long-term vision. And these would follow: building economic stability, improving service delivery in the healthcare sector, accelerating food and nutrition security, developing human capital, preserving and expanding social safeguards, and protecting environmental assets, and rebuilding resilient infrastructure. Yes, and certainly the budget was presented under the theme towards Vision 2035, protecting lives, safeguarding livelihoods, and investing our growth and resilience. Yes. So, what say you? There's been an ongoing conversation as to, first there was the expectation from the budget. Then there was the delivery. Now the conversation now starts as we await to see what would be delivered, the times in which it will be delivered, and what is going to come to fruition. Master Control, if you are ready for me, but we're going to start the conversation by just giving you a soundbite from the finance minister as he articulated some of the areas of concern that would seek to address some of our challenges of the Grenadian people, and then we will have a clip from the leader of the National Democratic Congress, Dickon Mitchell, regarding his thoughts on the presentation by the finance minister. Master Control, when you're ready, I am ready for you. If Master Control isn't quite ready, you're going to let me know when you are. But we're probably just going to look at some of the highlights taken from the budget. And certainly reminding you the number at which you can call in directly to participate, 435-2041, or you can place your comments via our Facebook, our WhatsApp portal, which is 435-2041, or you can share your comments on the budget via our Facebook page and platforms. So,
according to NDC's political leader Dickon Mitchell, an estimated $23 million wage bill for public officers minus pension will have to be paid before Christmas. Despite being refuted by government officials as not being a gimmick, Mitchell says he finds it hard to believe when considering the circumstances involved.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance has put out a circular number 21 of 2021, and it says this regarding one above, and the one above is quoting what the Minister of Finance said in Parliament. The Royal Grenada Police Force and the Ministry of Health are kindly asked to submit by Friday, 5th December, which is this Friday, the categories of all workers, all such workers who would qualify for the additional 1 month's pay.
During the budget presentation, Minister of Finance Gregory Bowen announced an extra month's pay for frontline public officers who faced the brunt of the pandemic. Other public officers were not left out of the benefits as a half month's pay was promised.
So I ask yourself this question. Who is determining whether a police officer was exposed to the risk of COVID-19 or not? Who is determining whether a doctor or a nurse was exposed to the risk of COVID-19 or not?
Noting the target date for payments being December 16th, Mitchell says the fine print says otherwise.
It says regarding two above, the criteria for qualifying for an additional half month's pay is currently being developed. Let me repeat. The criteria for qualifying for an additional half month's pay is currently being developed, and payments to all qualifying workers will be made during the first quarter of 2022.
NDC's leader impresses that while police officers, due to the pandemic, have had to work around the clock on the front line and issue passes, only an extra payment is expected.
How do we reward the police officers? Merely by a token 1 month's pay? Merely by a token 1 month's pay when the government is fully aware that the pay scale for police officers have not been adjusted since 1995.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
So there you have it, a response there from the NDC political leader addressing some of the assertions came out from the budget that of support for the frontline workers and other persons during the COVID, the brunt of the COVID fight. Do you have another clip from Master Control, or are we going to, if not, you let me know. So that's the conversation. There's been a number of things that took place. I think that I'm supposed to have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're live. Hello, caller. 435-2041. I think we have lost a caller. 435-2041. Want to take one of those of you that's already on the social media platform. Greetings to Omer out of Havana, Cuba, Kipling Francis, and others that is on the social media platform. Your thoughts, your comments on the presentation of the budget for this year. Classic, good morning. You're live.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Cadore.
Good morning, sir.
I beg to deviate from the theme that you proposed. Now, not that it isn't important, of course it is, but I'd rather make my contribution. I wish to begin by making this brief comment. I was disappointed on Monday night on a program hosted by the chief cook and bottle washer of GBN, bringing in a Jamaican to analyze the budget of Grenada. A budget delivered 3 days, budget speech delivered 3 days prior. Where are the Grenadians economists, albeit of different political leanings, capacities, and levels of trustworthiness? But where are they? Why shouldn't Grenadians discuss Grenadian business? And moreover, and this is worse, this individual doesn't even know what Grenadians did, but what they quote-unquote would have done, aided and abetted by the same host who up to today doesn't even understand what it means. Why don't they stop this ridiculous thing and listen to themselves? I'll leave that part of it, but let's go to the substantive point I wish to contribute to this morning. Today, the 3rd of December 2021, is another day set aside by the United Nations to celebrate the plight, status, rights of people within the population of the world that lives with disabilities. Today, the 3rd of December, considered UNIDPD, International Day for Persons according to the law. And this is the difference between the use of the word persons and people with disabilities. The government of Grenada continues up to today after 11... hold on a while, 2008 to now is 13 years. Huh? No, what's the matter with you, John? Well, you're getting crazy or what? Anyway, since 2008, when this convention was established for immediate implementation, the government of Grenada continues to violate the rights of the people in Grenada suffering with disabilities. And be it known that according to the 2011 census, 26,000 of our people, listen well, the global population makes it clear that approximately 15% of the global population suffer with disability, but in Grenada, 26,000 of the 110 suffer with disabilities of varying intensities and, of course, different categorization, whether you be you're born with it congenital or whether you acquire it on the way. And the government of Grenada, this organized crime syndicate, continue to shun the people of Grenada, denying them the fundamental rights. And I call them out today in the name of all the brothers and sisters around the country. They don't know me, they don't have to know me, but I am being deprived of my rights in this country. My rights I am being violated in the streets because my accessibility has been truncated. I have no right to continue the education for the continued development of myself. Don't matter I make 70, but I want to go on learning. I have a right to get established in the United Nations Convention. Why should the people of Guinea rights to the participate in folkloric, sport, in whatever activities, political activities, but we are being deprived. You're blind, so stay home. You're on a wheelchair, but you're paraplegic or you're quote-unquote, as we respectively refer to people, broke out, so stay home as a shut-in. That has to end, and therefore I call upon these pimps and parasites, this organized crime syndicate that rules this country, to give the people with disabilities a right as established by the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. The time has come, and I want to call upon you, Grenadian brothers and sisters, and the relatives and families of those who suffer with disabilities. The government of Grenada, neither the politicians are offering you or doing you any favor. Claim your rights is established by international law. It is crystal clear in the crystally expressed in the preamble that you cannot continue to view people with disabilities as objects of charity, social protection, or medical attention, but instead to see them as subjects with rights, capable of claiming these rights, to make decisions for themselves according to their own informed decision. The time has come to call out these pimps and parasites, including the Grenada National Council. We have a lot to talk. I invite you once more, Mr. Cadore, to bring out the Grenada National Council. I have 4 questions to ask them so that we hear from their mouths about what they do to the people of Grenada suffering with disabilities, soliciting in the name of these people while they treat them like the short word for excrement. So much more to be. But brothers and sisters, hail up to you on this day. Don't give up. Stick to faith because your rights are there. And I urge you to call in to your parliamentary representative. Call out on the radio station. Clamor for your rights. They're yours. No favors.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day, will you?
Much appreciated. Take care. 435-2041, that's the number on the inside. Remember, you can post your comments on our WhatsApp page, 435, the number, 435-2041, which is on the number on the screen, same as the direct line to the studio. Or you can use our WhatsApp, our YouTube page, or Facebook page, or you can view us via the World Wide Web. We have a caller on the line. Classic, good morning, you're live.
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Mr. Joe.
Yes, go ahead, please.
My friend.
Good morning.
I have a tendency to agree with Mr. Rolo. I was asking myself, why should you bring people to analyze our situation, external people, when we have people, when we should have capable people in Grenada to analyze our situation with the budget. And at the same time, just imagine, you setting or you want to give people help, and you don't know what you're looking for to give them help, as in connection with the payment of policemen and this and that, give them some kind of increase because of the COVID. The first thing I think you would have to do was to look into set your aims, and when you have your aim, then you'll be able to know what would you give for that. So we are starting things on the wrong sources, but at the same time, I do not blame those people who are representing us, because they know, some of us, maybe including myself, I will use the word as stupid is, and we look for certain things. When they give us, we say they're good, but we're not thinking about the general welfare of everybody. And this is what is happening in Grenada. That is why we put square pegs in wrong hole. Because I'll give you an example. Even this thing this morning, I heard about what they want to be doing for this insects or the thing that damaging saucer and so on. They say they brought some sort of other insect or something to use up or to clear up the disease or whatever that's going on to the saucer and so on. I'm asking myself, did they carry a research? Do they know if you may get more problem with the same thing they bring in to eat away these other insects? In fact, they said a mistake was made with this virus. That's why we have it now abroad. They were experimenting and it let loose. Maybe I hope something don't let loose and it bugs or free.
Well, I'm not even sure why you want to make that assertion. You
have a right to make assertion.
Yeah, but you have to make responsible assertions. You started talking about one issue and you just crossed over
as
though to suggest there's reasons for us to be worried about that.
That's my democratic right.
Yes, sir, but you have democratic rights to your opinions, but not when you're just freewheeling and just making insights into things. I'm not sure why is it you have reasons to believe that if they're trying to address an issue, that all of a sudden something untoward is actually going to happen.
Anyhow,
is there a reason for that?
Your concept of democracy.
435-2020.
Your concept of democracy.
You see, that's the challenge that I have, that we always assume because we have a democratic right to say to the public forum, and I encourage everybody to share their opinions, but some of we must be guarded against the things that we try to agitate. We have to be guarded against that. It doesn't mean that because you feel something in your mind without any basis for it, you just figure, well, something's going to happen. Come on. 20 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. We go back to the telephone lines. Classic, good morning. You're live.
Morning, Mr. Cadore. How are you?
Good. I'm wonderful, sir.
All right, sir. Mr. Cadore, they started a census, and they discontinue it for a while. But I'm hoping, before they start the census again, I'm hoping they should start numbering all buildings in Grenada before they go back on the census thing. Because right now, so many people doing things online. You're purchasing things online, and so on. So many Real Value do it, Creative House, other local people do it, and so everything online. So I'm looking for the number of houses again. It's very important. That used to be there in the 50s, 60s, coming up. All houses have numbers, and I think it's important to number them, because I see sometimes the hardware stores like Hubbard and Hawkins or some of them other stores that deliver goods to people. And when they deliver, they cannot find the building because they have no numbers. They give them a paper and tell them the house after this person and the house after that person is who. And sometimes it don't happen, because I see one time they was coming to deliver something for me, and I try to stop them and tell them it's here to go, and they tell me no, they go all the way up and are waiting for them. Then they come back down, they say it's not here that way. I was calling, but they say it's not me, it's not that house. They say a house on top. If you have the houses numbered, then they know they're really where they're going. When you go away in them countries, sometimes you're going to buy something and just looking at the number of the buildings, and it tell you directly which is the next one to that.
I guess that's where development comes in.
Yes,
and it would probably be part of what the planning division of schools, certainly.
Right.
All it would have to be, and I agree with you, it would take a collective effort, and it should be part of our development. I think there's a culture where we just do things haphazardly, and certainly it must get to a point of development as a people where we introduce order to it. It would make everybody's lives easier.
Yes.
Everybody's lives. I agree with you.
Don't mind the house small. Some people saying, well, some of them houses too small, but if somebody lives there, you understand?
If it is small enough to be counted in the census, then you're small enough your house for you to vote, then you should be counted and recognized as a Grenadian.
All right.
I'm with you, sir.
Oh, have a nice day.
Thanks for the contribution. 22 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. It is open line. It is Friday. Good morning to those of you that is on our social media platforms, WhatsApp, Alistair Warwood, Batson, and Williams, the Monica Williams, and the rest of the team. It is Friday. It's open line Friday. I'm giving you the opportunity today to chime in matters of national interest. The budget being one of the more topical ones. We waiting on the 18th when the gas price. We expected that's the next price cycle is on the 18th when the price of diesel and gasoline will be capped at $15, and I know that is good news for each and every one. Indeed, it is good news. But let's continue as we look at the budget. This person says, I see so far in the leaders of the country, there seems more time was spent on Ms. Deacon Mitchell than was spent on Her Majesty's opposition leader in any other debate. Quite interested. Good morning to my dear friend Oswald Pele Dabo. I see that you have joined us. And I'm one that believes that the Parliament should be a place where we discuss. It should be a place of edification where we discuss matters of national interest. But sometimes you have to wonder whether or not it serves as separate purpose that is a little bit remote to the average Grenadian. But leave that there for now. 25 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. It is Sound of Classic 105.5, 105.9, and GBN Television. We take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we continue to entertain your question, comments on an Open Line Friday right here on To The Point. Quick break. Adjustments had to be made regarding that. Welcome back to The Point. Welcome back to our television viewers. We go straight to the telephone line. Good morning, caller. You're alive.
Hi, good morning, Joe, and good morning to all your followers.
Good morning to you.
Last week, you remember you asked the question, what do we expect to see in the budget, or what would we like to see in the budget?
Yes.
And you may recall that I said to you what I would like to see, but what I expected.
Okay.
I did say that I would love to see some consideration of what has happened in the last 2 years, because this fiscal year will take us into 2 years since the pandemic, in terms of what we have learned, what we are going to do differently. We've learned about the importance of food security. We see the unreliability of things like tourism and travel. We've seen the problem with shipping and other things like that. And I said that I hoped, while I didn't expect to see a whole detailed plan, I hope I would see traces of a template, that's what I used last week, of what we want to do differently having experienced COVID. But I did say that while it will be the second fiscal year after COVID, I know it's the last fiscal year before elections. So I won't be surprised if elections took precedence. And just as I said, so it came. The emphasis was on a number of things. The Prime Minister himself said, they say it's an election budget, but he basically admitted it was. We always saw there were a number of good benefits for the people of this country. Some of them are definitely deserving of those. But the fact is, after years of having a tight fist, not being able to do things, we've suddenly seen a release. The floodgates have opened. Resources are being found from here, there, and everywhere. We have seen nothing in that budget that shows that we have learned anything from COVID, and we have any plans of doing anything differently. We have not seen any emphasis on agriculture, on agro-processing, feeding ourselves, creating more jobs locally. All we see, social safety net expanding, more giveaways. People need it, yes. But what are you doing that is sustainable?
Okay.
So I am not surprised, but I am disappointed that we're going into the third year after the pandemic, and we have not shown any signs of doing anything differently. Well, we just have to wait and see.
I guess we wait and see.
Have a good day.
Thanks for your thoughts, sir. 435-2041, that's the number under the inside. Certainly you can share your thoughts and your concerns via our social media platforms, including WhatsApp. Good morning, caller. You're live.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, the gas. The gas, when you look at it carefully and you decipher the whole system of the gas prices, you would see that capping at $15. All right, what does that mean? You are paying $5.50 taxes on gas. You cap it at $15, so more or less you remove $1 from the amount. But that's not the main problem. You are removing $1 from the $5.50 taxes, which it should be more removed. It should be around $3 more removed from the taxes. And then the Prime Minister was interviewed by Shoma Wells, and he then come on to say that the gas is being subsidized. How is it possible to subsidize the gas when the money is coming from the consumer? The taxes that the consumer is paying cannot be subsidized. That could never be correct. You cannot subsidize the taxes that the people are paying. So what I am saying is that there is no genuine deduction on the gas price. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your thoughts and your comments. 29 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. To the point, it's an open line Friday. We continue to look at the development of our nation, and today you get an opportunity to share. Again, the different platforms, the direct number is just 435-2041, or there's a WhatsApp portal, which is same as the direct line, 435-2041. This person says, please do not be sold on this election budget. This is not sustainable. It is what is an obvious political ploy for the gullible. Do not be fooled. Comments coming there via the WhatsApp portal. Continue to share your thoughts and we'll make it available to the public. Let's just look to see what's happening via the WhatsApp platform. This person says it is time we stop blaming government. They were not nominated, they were elected. Now look at Grenada. Tell me, they remove an MD from the Minister of Health and put a car salesman. Then you have a lawyer in charge of agriculture. Then you also see what we have. The oldest youth minister, an elementary school teacher, is as the minister of education. It should be, it should be retired. Okay, let me just take this over here. And this one says, education, should have been a retired clueless as foreign minister. Cannot speak properly, misguided as tourism minister. Heaven help us all. If I'm open to correction with facts. Thoughts there shared from one of the social media platforms. Again, good morning to all of the folks that's chiming in via social media. Good morning to Yulin Alexander. Good morning to all the folks that is locked in there from New York. We go back to the telephone lines. Classic, good morning.
Good morning, sir, and how are you today?
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, good program. I'm listening, but I want to make my little 2 pence there.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, I heard they announced stimulus package and package for frontline workers. And during the high peak of the economic crisis, they had a lot of pass and so forth given to workers. And there's a lot of different places had these passes as frontline workers. But in this Christmas gift, I haven't heard anyone talk about the Green Lake workers. But what I think is Green Lake workers is one of the main key part of the frontline workers. Because if without them, things can happen in the hospital. You need a lot of electrical, the current. All over, all of us, all household. Without them, we're in limbo. We'd even do without water for a while, but as this light gone is a big problem. And then I think it should be easier because the government don't have to borrow money to give them, but because they own the company now, so they could just take a certain amount of fund, especially, and share it out for them. Just let's say just from Cali's to Granans, that funds alone from these light bill could pay these guys, give them some money, man. Let's big them up, man. Grand Lake.
All the best to you, sir. Thanks for your contribution. And certainly, yes, while I understand the role that Grand Lake plays, I think it would be remiss of us if we would assume that any one party, their role and responsibility supersedes the other. Certainly, it took a collective effort, and each and every one we play our part. Can you imagine in the height of the pandemic, if you woke up a morning and you recognize that garbage wasn't collected for 2-3 days, even outside of the pandemic? Then the question is, who's truly frontline? The budget is for NNP smart followers only, not for the intelligent few. 435-2041, that's the number on the inside. That's a comment, the thought shared there by one of our online contributors. He says that the budget is for NNP smart followers only, not for the intelligent few. And again, remind you, for those of you that is on WhatsApp, certainly you need to appreciate that you would have to type in your information. This person says, JC, I have a problem with the news. Whenever a topic is discussed, please show the public what you are talking about. Some time ago, they spoke about veterans, but now, up to now, I'm waiting to see who they were talking about. Okay, we go back to the telephone line. Classic, good morning, you're live.
Hi, good morning, Joe. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Go ahead.
I did. Joe, I just want to speak this morning. When I listen to some people make their contribution concerning Deacon Mitchell, this young man is a Grenadian man. You mightn't know everything about him, but you just pay a bus to go up St. David and go around the community and find out. We have so much Chinese walking here. We know about them. We know where they live in. We know their community. We don't question that. What we want for our young children in this country, when I look around, I really see Grenadians, some of Grenadian parents, they really hate their children. Because you've seen the young men in the road lie down by the side of by the street, sleeping, eating a garbage, and we find out about them. We go and look for them. We give a helping hand. We have a young man putting up himself to do something for the younger men and women in this country. And we beat up on him so much. What's wrong with parents in Grenada? If this deacon try to make himself, go like a vagrant and eating garbage, bean and lie down on the street, I think some of us would have really loved that. Come on, Grenadians. Give the young people a chance in this country. Help them. Bye-bye, my brother.
Thank you very much. All the best to you. 452041, that's the number on the inside. This other comments coming via social media. He says, I happened to listen to the budget and I was taken back because seeing that the administration's been in office for all these years and they heard the cry of the people for months and never did anything to help out. Now, as Deacon is making himself known because he is a nobody, he has nobody to work to show it was among the Grenadian people's struggle. Anyway, if tubes contests in the south of the island, he could, of course, people would struggle. This one continues to say, well, and he gets elected before this, NDC's leader. 435-2041. Let's have a conversation. It is to the point. Remind you that at the top of the hour, it will be Tis the Season. Jefferson Ramirez is going to be our guest during that segment. Certainly, we hope that you can feel free to share your thoughts, share your comments. This is what democracy is about. You have an opportunity to be part of this conversation right here. This person, let me take it from social media. Good morning, sir. Thank you for the opportunity given to us to share reviews. I am yet to hear from our speakers what contribution they would be willing to make to develop our countries instead of opposing views. Thank you very much for your thoughts there. The WhatsApp number, 435-2041, is the same as the direct number in the office. Again, we want to encourage you, for those of you that's via WhatsApp, please post your comments on the page. I want to encourage you to post your comments on the page and refrain from trying to call directly. We may be proud of the emergence of such young Grenadians with so much promise, who had offered his youth and vision to make this country better. Continue to make your comments and contribution via the platform. And certainly it's always good when you see young people, they are given them the opportunity to do what they have to do. This person says, come on, just give him a chance. Give him a chance. At the end of the day, we continue to say there's young people. Young people, they are the future of the country. And if in fact they are the future of the country, then I agree 100%. They should be given the opportunity to be part of this national conversation and national development. 20 minutes gone past 20 minutes onto the hour. We take a quick commercial break or final break, and before we wrap the program, to the point for today, Friday the 3rd.
Let's get tough on greedy and larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all people, 300 for police for them thieving fellas. To all farmers, don't steal produce from your brother. Then you sell it to traffickers, hotels and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop greedy and larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report greedy and larceny, call 300.
Welcome back to The Point. This we go straight to the telephone lines. Classic, good morning. You're live.
Good morning.
Yes, go ahead, please. You're live.
Sometimes I wonder what is really wrong with our Grenadians. They complain, they said, okay, the nurses, everybody works so hard. Now the government has tried to put something in place. Everybody complaining. Is it that they would need that they think that they themselves should be getting also? I don't understand. We say things and then we expect certain things, and when things happen, we just complain and complain. Some of us use this to the point uselessly. Anyway, I hope that you try to tell these people the things that they should say and to control their words and to respect people's offices. And I think the program would be more beneficial. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the best to you. All the best to you, caller. 452041. That's the number on the inside. Let's go back to social media, WhatsApp in particular. I listened to the Prime Minister talk about succession plan. Why is he talking about succession plan in the Parliament? We are a democracy. We are free to elect who we want to represent us. Then again, this succession thing is supposed to be a party issue. The Constitution makes no allowance for party politics. Thank you, sir, for your contribution. Another contributor on WhatsApp says, in the budget, there seems to be a lot of assistance for people of this country. But to be one, you have to go to a political office to get these government's assistance and choose who to get it and who does not get. Those assistants should be controlled in a government office, although there is an NNP activist in all government offices, as they are the ones who get the jobs in these offices these days. We go to the telephone lines. Classic, good morning, you're live.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, how are you, sir?
I am well, thank you, but I'm hearing you sound very hollow, sir, very, very distant.
Oh, well, sometimes I will use the phone, you know.
Go ahead.
Are you hearing me now?
A little better. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, right. Listen, one of the things I am very much concerned about, I find some of us as Grenadians, we are double standard. We are not truthful. We don't even know. Some of us don't even know what we want. They know what they want, but they know what they need. Now, we always crying for young people, come forward, right? There's a young man who came forward. He presented himself in frontline politics. And it would seem to me that since that man declared himself, to me, it has speakers in some of us, some people close, also in the shoe. Only criticizing, condemning, what can he do? A young man, he has no experience. How many people that are in politics in Grenada today, the band with experience, what they did to the country or for the country before they went into politics. I think as Grenadians, we should be glad, we should be proud, we should be happy to know at least one person is presenting himself. You know, I don't know if we are afraid or we frightened of this young man's ability, his talents, because I think nobody could question that. The man has the ability. I hear a man talk, and I tell you, he's speaking well. I am not saying his speech will tell us he will deliver. But I think we need to give everybody a chance, including this young man. And I'm saying I would encourage him to continue to speak about the issues, not about person, not about people. And when one does that, leave Grenadians to judge and to test. Now we have competition. Before, I don't think we had it. We have it now. So let us use it and use it wisely. I thank you. You have a good day.
Thank you. All the best. All the best to you, sir. 4352041. This person on social media says everyone is considered frontline workers, especially when they are contributing effectively to enhance the development of our country. Let us give everyone the due recognition. Deaconism is a policy, not a mentality. Interested. This other contributor says NNP have nothing on NDC. In 2018, Uncle Tilly was the leader. Deacon Mitchell is now the leader. There is a different bowl of soup. Let us try it. We go back to the telephone lines. Classic, good morning, you're alive.
Yes, good morning. Can I get onto the program?
Yes, sir, you're alive. Go ahead, please.
Okay, what I have to say is that we need young politicians on the island. But no matter what job you're going to do, you have to learn it. You have to learn the pros and the cons. And if you just take somebody, no matter how bright they is, and just throw them on the front line, they will fail. Okay, the young man is in there. Let him learn. Let him get to understand politics. Let him get to understand what he has to do. The people you have to listen to, you have to get to know the poor, the hungry, the needy, the jobless. You got to know to the international people. You can't just take him and just throw him there and tell him, go and be prime minister. Grenada will sink. We will sink. And the prime minister give a budget days for Grenadians. Some people say it's Christmas. Well, Christmas coming, so what's wrong with that? He give the people that was on the front line money, people making noise. You know. And sometimes I just wonder what Grenadians want. They always complaining. At this point in time, there isn't no other party what will take us through this tearing time, this hard time, this COVID time. People don't understand what's going on in the world. You put somebody new there who doesn't know nothing, Grenada will finish. It'll be wiped out of the map. So let us look at everything and do the right thing. Take care, boss.
Thank you very much, sir. 4352041, that's the number on the inside. 10 minutes onto the hour of 10 o'clock. We're getting ready to wrap the program this morning. And certainly, indeed, it was a pleasure being here with you. It is Friday, reintroducing the weekend. By the way of information, the folks at ACB Bank, formerly IRTT, they're informing the public that they continue their conversion from the IRTT to the ACB platform, and as a result, they will be offline as of 5 o'clock this afternoon. So for the purpose of your ATM services and all those sort of facilities, it must be done before 5 o'clock, because thereafter they will be off the grid. So keep that in mind, all you customers of ACB Bank, formerly IRTT. Folks, all good things must come to an end. We're getting ready to transition to another part of today's program, which is 'tis the season. We continue to share the joy and the compliments of the season, and certainly it's indeed a pleasure being here with you. As always, we do this every day to the point. Today we no different, and certainly we say thanks to all those of you who contributed in one way or the other. We say, listen, your points, they are all respected. What we need to do, I respect you, you respect me. All the best, so long. JC loves you. Until then, keep doing what you do, folks. Keep living and loving life. Until then, you take care.